guys, we're back to the truck here. Got my load delivered last night. Before I left, I just kind of tried an impact on there and these nuts came right off. Basically, it's just like a hub extender that puts the wheel out wider so it's even with the truck. And it's a big dually. That's all it basically was. It just bolts on there. Pretty simple. Got your four-wheel drive unit. I know this has to be rebuilt in here. Sometimes it doesn't like to lock in. This has a manual lock thing on it. You know, kind of sucks having that you can't just flip the button on the inside and it, you know, locks them in, but you know, it's 2002. The nice thing about a 2002 is everything is actually standard sizes. So that's kind of cool. So that's cool. So we're going to pull the pins out and see what they look like, see if they actually move. I kind of have a feeling that this is what is causing the problems. It usually is. That pin moved fine. That one's not. Okay. There we go. Now here's a messed up situation. These brakes actually don't look that bad. Yeah, the brake pads are not terrible. I mean, there's plenty of brake pads left there. There's a lot of rust in the side there. So looks like we're just gonna have to take off the whole brace and everything. Well, that glove didn't last that long. Well, that's got to come off now. Here we go. There we go. It's smushed out. It's kind of all distorted, so is that one. I don't know if that's what's holding it up or what. I think that the brake rotor here is warped. It's really worn. That pin is okay. That one's tight. I think this is the problem right here. I think this is what's done it all. This pin froze up, so I put a lot of heat in it, damaged that. Heated up and warped my rotor. And so I could actually just, you can buy just these pins and new rubbers and stuff. I have actually found out, I've done this over the years, and I have found, you know, you can do this. You can just replace these. And the rubber, it seats on here. There's a little metal piece on there, has like a rim on there. And I've put new rubbers on there, and I can never seem to get them to seal there. I've tried putting little small zip ties across there and stuff, and, you know, to tighten that rubber on there so it doesn't leak against. It seems like it always does. I have not had good luck with just replacing the pins. If I can get them to move, then I have pulled them out, put them on a wire wheel and cleaned them up, and then repacked them and stuff and put them back together, and gotten quite a few years out of it. But this is a truck that I plan on fixing up really nice and having for quite a few years. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. I'm probably going to end up replacing both sides. So I'm going to clean all the rust up off of here and start the reassembly process and put all new parts in it. Alright guys. What I did is I painted all the parts. I cleaned, I knocked off all the bigger chunks of rust and stuff. I would love to sandblast this and really take care of this. Powder coating would be great, so that this doesn't happen and this doesn't rust anymore and it's filled up with rust. I kind of don't like the design of this. I mean, that's where the ABS sensor comes through, but a lot of junk can come in here and get in between the rotor and the brakes and stuff. I don't know. I don't really like the looks of that, but that's the way it is. But what I did is I cleaned it all up with a wire brush and then blew it all off, hammered some of the bigger chunks of rust off and stuff, and then I coated it with some gray. I didn't have any black. I have a lot of this. This is from the days when I used to rebuild Macs and stuff. I think I have like 4 or 5 cans of this stuff, and it's good for heat. So put that on there. So I'm going to put some anti-seize in here, just so that it can come apart again. There we go. Goes on there. I'm just going to put the new calipers on there. I'm just going to put all new parts on. It's just instructions. You know what to do with those. I'm just going to put all new parts in there because it just, it does come with the wires. Good. I think it's just a good idea. Alright, well, new part. It's metric. This one's a 17 millimeter. So pull those 2 bolts out. And I'm actually going to pull the pins. See, now this is, I don't know if I just did this or not, but you can see this rubber is actually not on the groove. So it's supposed to be inside that groove. That's what causes all the problems. So I'm pulling these back out. The reason, it's all brand new, and you think, well, you know, when you're taking it apart. The reason why is because I don't trust whoever assembled this, that they actually put enough grease in there. And you get this rubber sitting on there right. Seems like there should be a catch on there. There is some grease in there. I'm going to get some small zip ties. I'm going to put zip ties around this. I don't like the rubber's not sitting on there good. Alright, I'm going to push this up here. Put it on. And I'm going to slip a zip tie in there. Just like so. Except I got the zip tie backwards. And pull that tight. And that should make that rubber hold in there better. Yes, it does. So now I can pull on it and it doesn't come off of there. That's your biggest problem with these things, is they're supposed to be situated in there like that. And it's supposed to sit in that little groove. And that rubber is supposed to keep water from getting in there. But the problem is that it doesn't, it pops off there and then all the water gets in there. And we're going to put some good grease in here. A lot of it's going to come right back out. Let's try to get some of it in there. So let's put our bracket back on here. Alright, tighten these up. Go. That's better. No grinding. Alright, now we can put our brake pads in. Just like so. Oop, this one came out. Just like so. And these have these wires that grip in here like this. And that helps push the brake pads out. It's a little extra spring there, it looks like. Never seen brake pads like this. It's gonna be kind of hard to hold it in there, I think. Okay. So now we got our actual caliper. Don't have to do anything with that. It's already compressed, so we don't need our special compressor for brake pads, calipers. I'm having an issue right now with not finding stuff. And I'm just going to put a little bit of spot of blue Loctite on here. Blue Loctite, it'll keep it from backing out with vibration, but it will be able to come back out with a socket. Alright, so we need to turn these. That one. kind of push on the brake pads. Slip it over. Alright guys, we're over on the other side and the brakes are actually working fine, but this axle is not so good. That not good. So we're going to, the dust seal is actually completely gone. I believe that there's a tube up in there. This is a Dan 60 axle. So basically we got to get this axle out of here, and it actually will pull right through this spindle. You just have to, there's a lot of crud and stuff in here, so I'm trying to knock some of this out. And the four-wheel drive in this thing, you know, there's issues with this truck. I know there is. I knew there was when I bought it. The main reason why I bought this thing is because of the motor, 8-foot box, and there's hardly any rust on it. The mechanical stuff I plan on just all redoing it and everything, you know. I wasn't quite planning on doing this right now. I'm like super busy today. But it is what it is. Gotta take care of it. Alright, I think it feels pretty good. Might come out. I'm just gonna spray a little bit of lube up in there to help this slide. But my four-wheel drive unit, once in a while it pops out. And what that is there's a it's called a inner knuckle seal, I think it's called. It's just right here. It's this whole deal right here, and it's kind of like a vacuum seal deal, and it spins in there and stuff, but it holds a vacuum in there for the four-wheel drive unit to engage and stuff. If that loses that vacuum, it actually will pop out. That's the main cause of it. So, you know, while I'm doing all this, I'll end up replacing all that. So you just put a pry bar behind the axle. And you just start prying. There we go. Woo! That thing is a bugger, man. A bugger, I say. Come on. There we go. The U-joint feels good. Well guys, we are putting this button pack together. This is the drive shaft out of this side. And I have all the seals pressed on. This is not going to be the end of this. I already know that. I tried to get a new spindle. Nobody has this spindle in stock. Junkyard I could get one, but then you're gonna run into the same thing. I just wanted a brand new one. But this is gonna work out for now. If it doesn't seal, you know, and it still pops out a four-wheel drive once in a while, you know, that's not the end of the world issue right now. When I rebuild the truck and everything, I'll put brand new spindles on it. But I've tried to clean it up the best I can. But these were all leaking, and I got water all in here, and this all rusted inside here. This is a machine surface in here, and it's supposed to be smooth because there's O-rings and stuff to seal. So it is what it is. But you can see I got the new seal on there. I got my new vacuum seal on here. In. I think I need a block of wood and a bigger hammer. Yeah, it's not in there yet. Alright, we got her in there. Got her in the splines. There we go. She's all bottomed out. That seal is in there. So we're good to go. This is a special seal. It's actually called a vacuum seal. I think the proper thing of it is a knuckle vacuum seal. And I don't know if I want to explain all this. Basically, this seal in here is just a dust shield. And what that does is it seals off the axle tube so water and stuff doesn't get up inside there. And then the splines ride on. There's another seal inside there that's in the differential, and the splines go into the main gear. And then you got your universal joint right there in the middle, right behind the spindle. And that's what provides you to be able to turn. But this one is a vacuum seal, and what this does, this is actually a Dannon front end, Dannon axle. Same company makes semi-axles and stuff and trailers and stuff. And this seal here has to be put on here at the correct distance because there's shims and stuff that go in here, and it has to be, so you have to have a special tool to do this. They're not that expensive. And you pound it on there and stuff, and it's a special vacuum seal that moves back and forth and everything. And this is your vacuum line right here. And what this does is it seats it in there, and you have your outer wheel bearing that goes on here, and it has an O-ring, and that seals off this little area right here. And when you flip the switch on the inside, if you have the outside, if you have this set on automatic, what happens is on the inside, when you flip that switch, it creates, there's a valve up in there, and there's a vacuum pump on the engine itself that creates, you know, vacuum for the engine, just like the cars do. And this vacuum line goes in here, and it sucks vacuum in here. Well, if this is all not sealed in here, it can't create a vacuum. And it may actually engage to four-wheel drive, but then it loses its vacuum. It could lose it, and then it pops out, and it creates a vacuum, pops out. It could keep doing that. So this is what causes that problem if you have a truck and you keep popping out a four-wheel drive and everything, and it pops in and out. It sits right here if it's a Ford. You got this here. It's called the knuckle vacuum seal. It was like 40 bucks. And then there's a bunch of O-rings and stuff, and the stuff that I'm going to continue to keep putting on here and everything. But this is what causes the problem. And this spindle right here, it's had water and stuff getting in here for years or something. It's all rusted and stuff. I tried sanding and stuff to try to. This is supposed to be a machine surface, it's supposed to be nice and smooth for all these rubber O-rings and this seal here to seal up against. I think this seal will be okay. back there. I think that's going to seal, but I'm not sure about the O-ring. This may work, it may not. If it doesn't, not a big deal. I mean, it's a $40 seal. You know, pull it back apart, and when I can get a spindle, then I'll do it. I'll probably end up doing both sides, probably replacing spindles and everything else when I do all the whole truck. But I need my truck back because I got something I got to go do. I need my truck. So the next step is going to be putting the wheel bearing in. All right, we got our new wheel bearing. The other one was a little crunchy. So here's our new one. This one here is a Moog. And I've always trusted Moog parts. I've always put Moog steering parts in there and stuff like that. I just have always trusted them. So I guess I have to put the studs in, which I don't understand. Why couldn't they have put these in for me? Alright. So this is a spacer. This is actually made out of plastic. And that goes down there, and see it sits inside there, and that's what provides the gap. It basically keeps metal from touching. That's all it does. So this is your wheel bearing, and you can see there's an O-ring right here. This is that O-ring. This is the O-ring that seals the outside of that from with the vacuum. So I'm going to put a little bit of grease on there. Just like so. And you can see this is your bearing right here. This is your main bearing. All the rest of this stuff, you know, it's your hub and all this stuff, and you got this big machine parts out here and all this. It all rides on this bearing right here, and it's just right on that shaft. ABS line there. There you go. That's what puts her back in there. Well guys, we got the old F350 all fixed up. You can see all brand new brake stuff in there. Got the whole front axle all fixed. And I actually loaded up my side-by-side in there and hauled it up there to the inspector. She's gonna break the motor in for me. It's up at her house. And ran up there and stuff, and there's still a noise. Now that I got that noise done, now I found another noise. And I actually crawled underneath there and kind of looked at it, and the rear differential is making some pretty bad noises. So now I'm gonna have to tear into that. Something I really didn't want to mess with at the moment. Got too much other stuff going on. But I can't do it right now. Right now I have to go trucking, and so I am all loaded up, and I have to go to Manassas, Virginia. So I need to hit the road. So I'll catch you guys later. I hope everyone out there is having themselves a great day, great night as they're watching this here video. And if you're not, we can certainly just try that all over again tomorrow. I'll catch you later. Bye.